Hi everyone, my name is Joanna Australia. Currently taking the course of Bachelor Secondary Education. So our lesson for today is all about adjectives. But before we proceed on our lesson, let me discuss first what is SLM, or what we call self-learning module. Self-learning modules are designed where the learners is free to choose what is learned, how to learn, when to learn, and where to learn. This flexibility is an important characteristic in an open learning process. So, let's start. This module is for grade 9 students. So, welcome to English 9 Self-Learning Materials, SLM, on use of appropriate cohesive devices in writing rich speeches. This module was cooperatively created and evaluated by instructors from public organizations to help you, the educators, or facilitators in aiding the students to fulfill the guidelines set by K-12 curriculum, while conquering their own social and monetary imperative in tutoring. These learning assets desired to draw in the students indirect and free learning exercises at their time. Besides, this likewise plans to assist students with getting the required 21st century capacities while thinking about their necessities and conditions. In addition to the materials in the significant text, you will likewise see this case in the body of the module. Notes to the teachers: these contain helpful tips or strategies that will help you in guiding the learners. As facilitators, you need to train students how to utilize this module. You also need to follow the advancement of the student while allowing them to deal with their learning. Moreover, you ought to energize and help students as they complete the errands remembered for the module. And for the learners, this learning aids show that you as a student are proficient and enabled to effectively get important capacities and abilities at your speed and time. Your scholastic achievement relies on how you associate past information with the current course being talked about. This module plans to give you intriguing and significant freedom for you to direct and indirect learning at your time. You will want to deal with the substance of learning assets while turning into a functioning student. If it's not too much trouble, keep it in your mind not to leave any dents on this module and compose your reply in your paper. So, what I need to know. For the learners, this module will help you in teaching the students about the significant adjectives in connecting words, expression, condition to shape broad together sentence and section utilizing different exercises. Kindly aid the students in grasping the various kinds of adjective by giving them examples that are easy to understand so that learning will be significant and fun. Answers are composed on the last page of this module. Introduce to the students the word of kindness and love for loved ones. If you experience any hardship in answering in this module, kindly go ahead and talk with your instructor or advisor. Always remember that you are in a good company. We trust that through this module, You will encounter significant learning and have an inside and out comprehension or related capacities. What I know. Read properly and underline the adjective word. Number 1. Lisa wore an elegant gown at the ball. Number 2. I wonder how else can afford the latest album of her favorite boy band. Number 3. My brother loves to read medical books. Number 4. I prefer to wear a simple dress during our family dinner. Number 5. What an adorable cat. So lesson 1. Adjectives consists of definition, kinds, use, and examples. Adjectives are illustrative words. They are utilized to depict or change different words. Various types of adjective can be utilized in interpreting nouns and pronouns. The proper adjectives must is utilized to have more clear image of the person, the animals, the thing or situation is interpreted. So, what's in? Put a check if the word is an adjective. So number 1, we have army. Number 2, faith. Number 3, we have hairy. Number 4, icy. Number 5, ice. Number 6, apple. Number 7, easy. Number 8, little. Number 9, honey. Number 10, sincere. It's new. Read the poem and write all the adjective words that you see. The title of this poem, I Wonder by Jenny Kirby. So, I wonder why the grass is green, and why the wind is never seen. Who taught the bird to build a nest, and told the trees to take a rest? Oh, when the moon is not quite round, where can the missing bit be found? Who lights the star when they both blow up, and makes the lightning flash about? Who paints the rainbow in the sky, and hangs the poppy cloud so high? Why it is now, do you suppose, that Dad won't tell me if he knows? What is it? Study the following. So number 1, we have kinds of adjectives. Proper adjectives are adjectives, words, shape from people, places, or things. As a rule, proper adjectives are usually used to say something is identified with particular individual or area. Example of the proper nouns. Number 1, we have I love Korean foods. Number 2, Japanese food is fantastic dish. So let's proceed. Another kinds of adjectives is limiting adjectives. These are the words that limit a thing or pronoun instead of defining any of its attributes or characteristic. Example of limiting adjectives. Number 1, we have James owns some dogs. Number 2, those bags. Descriptive adjectives are descriptors that portray an attribute, characteristic of a noun or pronoun. Example of descriptive adjectives. Number 1, she is beautiful woman. Number 2, Remy is a nice person. So we have distributive adjectives. These are utilized to pertain to individuals from an organization separately. Distributive adjectives such as each, every, either, neither, and any are the adjective phrases that pertain to particular things out of a group. Example of distributive adjectives. Number 1, do you have any question? Number 2, each student must bring their parents tomorrow. Let's proceed in another kinds of adjective. We have numerical adjectives, are words that indicate the connection between quantity and amount. It is usually describe the number or order of an object, person, places, etc., and give detailed evidences. So, we have two kinds of numerical adjectives. Number 1, we have definite adjective. It is used to represent neither more nor less than a certain amount where those pieces of information are clearly defined, that it shows specific number. There are two kinds of definite adjective. Number 1, we have cardinal. Is an adjective that indicates how many nouns are there or how many certain objects are presented. For instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In short, it is used for counting. Example, number 1, I have 1 candy in my pocket. Number 2, a boy brought 2 flowers for his girlfriend. So letter B, we have ordinal, parts of definite adjective. Ordinal is an adjective that shows the position or rank of a noun, which start with asking what place or order. For instance, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. Example, number 1, I have Joy won the first prize in the competition. Number 2, Jared was the fifth child. So, number 2, indefinite adjective are countable adjective. These words are used to show that something can't be measured or count, where they can provide a specific number of a person or characteristic. Example, some of my cousins are kind and funny. Number 2, I'm proud of having a few friends, but real ones. Let's proceed in another type of adjectives. Demonstrative adjective is used to point out or to specify a person, things, occasion, etc. Demonstrative adjectives are this, that, those, and this. Example, number 1, that guy is my husband. Number 2, those plants are rare. So let's proceed on another adjective. Quantitative adjective is useful words that is used to convey the quantitative adjective. Start with asking how many and how much is the quantity of an object. Example, number 1, some of my classmates filled in the examination. Number 2, Mabs exert much effort in doing his project. Number 2, comparison of adjectives. Adjectives have 3 degrees of comparison. Number 1, we have positive degree. The term of positive degree refers to the adjective and verbs. The positive degree refers to an adjective or verbs that does not make a comparison. Example, short, late, more, plentiful. Comparative degree, comparing nouns, people, object, animals, and so on. So anything else is one approach to describe them. You're more likely to use adjectives like smaller, bigger, taller, or more fascinating and less expensive when comparing two products. Take note of the ending as well as the terms more or less. Both native and non-native speakers make the mistake of employing wrongly constructed comparison adjectives. Example, shorter, late, later, more, plentiful. Superlative degree. You'll probably use these words and phrases like tiniest, biggest, tallest, most intriguing, and least interesting. when comparing more than two things. Take note of the S ending, as well as the words most and least. When generating the superlatives, make sure that you utilize the correct ending and superlative adjectives. Example: shortest, latest, most plentiful. What's more? Independent activity number 1. Put more or most in the front of each adjective. Number 1. Football is blank, dangerous, that goal. You ask the blank interesting question. Number 3. Ivan is blank dedicated than her brother James. Number 4. Science is blank difficult than math. Number 5. Honey is blank natural than refined sugar. Independent assessment. Complete sentence with superlative forms of adjectives. Number 1. Your pet ran blank fast of any pet in the race. Number 2. Ivan is blank smart in the class. Number 3. Which is better language of all to learn. Number 4. Which is the blank fast bird in the world. Number 5. He is blank bad employee in the company. Independent activity number 2. Categorize the example of adjectives by jotting down them on the corresponding box. Copy and answer the activity in your paper. We have Japanese, 2, third, this, handy, precious, this, last, British, Korean, all, handsome, that, Mexican, beautiful, Egyptian, those, one. So there's a box here. The group of proper adjectives. You will put those words. Independent assessment number 3. Cross out the adjective words that doesn't have belong to the group. So number 1, we have the indefinite adjective. It is anyone, everything, everyone, someone, any. Number 2, limiting adjective. We have your, mine, each, less, 30, each, less. Indefinite assessment again. Number 3, define what degree of adjective all the capitals letter. Put N if it is normal adjective, C for comparative adjective, or S for superlative adjective. Number 1, Giovanna is the wisest girl I know. Number 2, Ivan is taller for his age. Number 3, James is lazier than Ryan. Number 4, peanuts are cheaper than cashew. Number 5, the dresser is fullest. It is always him. What I have learned. Read each sentence carefully and choose the correct answer inside the box. Write your answer in your notebook. Limiting adjective. We have in the box are the words limiting adjectives, descriptive adjectives, proper adjectives, numerical adjectives, and adjective. So write them on the blank. Number 1, we have and blank is a word that is used to modify or describe a noun or a person or a pronoun. Number 2, blank are the words that limit a thing, pronoun instead of defining any of its attribute or characteristic. Number 3. Blank are descriptors that portray the attribute, characteristic of a noun or pronoun. Number 4 are blank are words that indicate the connection between quantity and amount. Number 5. Blank are usually used to say that something is identified with particular individual or area. What I can do. Find and circle the 10 words which is hidden in the grid. Words may appear horizontally, diagonally, down and up. Copy and answer the activity in your notebook. I have here a crossword puzzle, yeah. So we have assessment. Choose the suitable type of adjective in each of the following sentences. Number 1. Zane saw several snakes at the zoo. We have letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Letter D, quantitative adjective. Number 2, a pail of water is sufficient to fill the drum. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Letter D, quantitative adjective. Number 3, Sheena put a little time to review about their lesson. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Or letter D, quantitative adjective. Number 4, most of the students attend the flag-raising ceremony every Monday at exactly 6 in the morning. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Or letter D, quantitative adjective. Number 5, I remember this song he dedicated for me when we were a child. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Letter D, quantitative adjective. 6. Leonardo da Vinci was my second favorite artist and painter. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Or letter D, quantitative adjective. So number 7, that suggestion is not mine. So letter A, we have numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Or letter D, quantitative adjective. Number 8, many children have read the book Stuart Little. Numerical adjective. Letter A. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Letter D, quantitative adjective. 9, I brought 10 souvenirs in Alaska. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Letter C, demonstrative adjective. Letter D, quantitative adjective. So the last number we have is everyone is attending the conference. Letter A, numerical adjective. Letter B, indefinite adjective. Or letter C, we have demonstrative adjective or quantitative adjective for letter D. Additional activity. Write one adjective that is appropriate to give given noun that use pair of adjective and nouns in a sentence with the given types of adjective. Number 1, sea, proper adjective. Number 2, cactus, limiting adjective. Number 3, sunset, descriptive adjective. Number 4, ball, numerical adjective. Number 5, countries, proper adjective. That's the last part of the self-learning module for grade 9 student. So thank you for listening.